was writing Transformers, as much as I could, I read the letters. I think I wrote the responses to the letters in some cases. Usually with an assistant editor, but a lot of writers wanted to, actually read the letters and respond, because obviously, otherwise, the assistant editors would either come up with just kind of pat answers, kind of like friendly answers that really didn't say much, or they would just have to talk to the writers to give an answer to get a more specific, fact-based answer. So I think there were times I wrote the answers. I can't remember exactly. But I definitely tried to read the letters, see what fans liked and didn't like. I can't remember anybody ever saying anything that influenced the way that I wrote subsequent stories or changed a character or something like that. I can't really remember that. I do remember one letter in particular. I wrote this issue called, I think it was issue 23, it's called Decepticon Graffiti. And the Decepticon Graffiti, I forget the reasons why, but I think a trio of Decepticons decided that the way they're going to strike at Earth was they were going to write graffiti all over, like national monuments all over the United States. So, it was a cute idea perhaps, and meanwhile the Autobots are chasing them and trying to stop them, and humans are like reacting. They're watching. There's the St. Louis Arch or the Washington Monument, and they look up there, and so it was a fun issue. It was a little bit lighter touch. So I do remember one letter I got about that issue from a particular fan saying, he loved it, and that was Stan Lee. And I was so flattered that Stan Lee took the time to read one of my Transformers comics and write a fan letter about it. So that was a special moment while I was writing Transformers.
And that came to you just like in a pile of letters?
Yeah. It wasn't like, everybody clear the room. Here's a message from Stan Lee. No, it was just a letter that he sent to the office. So it was quite nice that he took the time to do that. One of the projects I worked on was a project called Solarman. This was a project this is an idea that Stan came up with, Stan Lee. And he was out there in Hollywood, and at that time Stan was trying to develop properties and pitch them to various TV studios or movie studios or whatever. So Stan actually wrote for me as a writer. I was his editor on Solarman, and it was always fun working with Stan. I think the most I ever did was maybe change some punctuation. I didn't want to get involved in editing Stan's copy. Plus, he was a great writer, so there wasn't really much need for it. So, but it was nice working with Stan, and it was a privilege. He was such a legend, and I remember at the time, because I had this modest working relationship with Stan, I was able to talk to him on the phone and all that. And I remember I was going out to Los Angeles for a particular reason, maybe to follow up on one of these movie adaptations I was working on. And I said to Stan, I'll be coming out to LA in a couple of weeks. And he said, oh, you got to come over and we'll do lunch together, which sounds like a very Hollywood sort of thing to say. So I didn't know if he was just being polite to me or if he really meant it. But I didn't want to be rude, so he said, he told me when I come out there, I should call him. So I called into his office like before I left, and I got his secretary, and she said, oh, well, that particular day, but I wasn't going to be out there that long. Oh, that day, Stan can't meet you for lunch. But if you come over around 4 o'clock, he'll meet you for a drink. So I was able to spend about 45 minutes with Stan on the second floor of a deserted Chinese restaurant. They had a second floor bar. It was just me and him at a table in this empty room, and it was wonderful because Stan's a great guy, but 99% of the time when the public sees him, he's like on stage. He is Stan Lee, the entertainer, the master of comic books. He's out there with his Stan Lee persona. I was able to just sit down with him as like two human beings, and he was telling me all the trials and tribulations of being a comic book a senior comic book executive type person that he is, or he was back then, trying to sell his ideas to various studios and really coming up against one wall after another. It wasn't easy. So it's nice to hear this other side of him and just have a really nice conversation with him. So it was a treasured moment in my career at Marvel.